Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth, and if you remember, in the previous video we made this masterboard, and now I would like to make a currency holder out of it. Not from a whole masterboard part, but the big part. And here I show you the currency I have left. I have more, but they're all kind of the same value, so I've just shown you two of them. Quite interesting currency, very beautiful, I would say, colorful, and quite nice to have some leftovers. I think we all have some money that we bring from our vacation, and I really want to have a better place for them, let's say so. For now, I will cut this masterboard a little bit shorter. We don't need it that much. I could have cut it like the width as well, but it's fine. It depends on how big you want it. It also depends on the size of money you use. Maybe you will make it for coins or for the this sort of money, like papery ones, and the size will depend. And as you can see, I am adjusting the height, the flaps, and here I will show you the trick. So if you don't have a scoreboard, you can use this paper trimmer to use it as a scoreboard. Just place it in the place with this sort of valley and use your ruler to make this score in your paper, and it will be much easier to fold it this way. It's not convenient as a scoreboard, but I don't have one, so I use what I have. And yeah, now it looks like sort of an envelope, and we will make a closure for that because, well, it's quite a short flap, and I really want to have a nice, interesting closure here because it also will be envelope that is not glued, but we will be able to open it to have some writing space as well. That's why I made this masterboard on a paper that, well, has something on the back. Now I will make a closure. I am cutting two thick paper pieces and one on top just to make it thicker, make it more sturdy, and I will basically glue them all down together. It's easier to align them because it's like all one circle punch, the size is the same, so it's easy to glue them down. You can make it as thick as you want. It just need to withstand some using for a long amount of time, yeah. And this is just for the better image on top, something abstract. And I will ink the edges because it's white, it's really showing, and I don't want this to be shown, so I'm inking it and also making it look a little bit more vintage. I will also ink the envelope. I will kind of speed this up for you a little bit faster because you don't need to watch me inking for like 1 minute. Yeah, it's quite a long process. Inking is of course optional, up to you. If you like the look, if you don't like the look, then of course you can skip this part. I just feel like this may make it look more finished, not especially vintage, but finished at least, and also the inner part. So now I will make the window for our currency, so we will be able to see it through the envelope. You can make it smaller than your currency, so you will not have any space between the currency and something inside the envelope, so you will not see anything else aside of the money. But I will make it slightly bigger because I actually want to use this leftover piece as journaling card, so I want it to be, well, quite big, not a really small piece. Although a smaller piece will look better if we can only see the money, but it depends on what you want from this holder, from the pocket. So I'm using my stationary knife to cut the window. It's quite easy because, well, I have chosen the I made the sort of a template with the money itself. Yeah, so please be careful when doing so with the knife because it's quite sharp. And of course we will use this piece in the other project. I am also inking the window because that's the only time when we can do it. After that we will cover it with the acetate, so we won't be able to ink it later on. But also, if you like the inked look, then do that. If not, then just leave it. and I actually didn't ink it on the inside, which is perfectly fine too. Now we will make the closure. I will just use brads. We'll poke the holes and adhere it with the brad. Quite an easy method. I really like this closure type. It's easy and looks interesting, looks beautiful. You only need to have the brads. That's it. Okay, so I'm measuring the center of the envelope to kind of be precise. You can also eyeball it for sure. So we need to make a hole in the envelope and also in the closure itself, like this circle. But before I do that, I actually want to raise it a little bit from the envelope surface in order to, so it will be easier to put a thread in it, the closing thread. And for that, the closure element needs to be a little bit raised. And I'm just choosing this kind of a thick paper, also glue it together. So it is two layers of this paper, and gluing it in the middle of the circle. It needs to be slightly smaller than the circle itself, because we only need to raise this part. And now I'm punching the hole. Maybe it's better to wait for the glue to dry, but I was impatient. But it works anyway. So you just then close it with the brad. Now our circle is slightly raised and it's easier to put the thread in it. Well, under it. And I'm choosing this neutral thread. I had some leftovers but decided that this is not enough and I want more. Actually didn't need more, but you know, for me it's always better to cut more than not enough. That's why I always have these thread leftovers laying everywhere, because I have this leftover, I need to use it somewhere because I will forget about it, and these leftovers are just hanging with me. And now I make a double knot and cut off the excess. Well, it took me a while because I was trying to use scissors that are not quite sharp and not really for the fabric. Then I decided to take my usual fabric scissors. Yeah, so we won't see the other thread. You can actually leave it if you also like the look. Also depends on what effect you want. And now this is the simplest closure ever, but looking quite fancy. Now we will make the window, and I'm using this not double-sided, but two pieces of acetate. They are like one package together. Yeah, so it will be easier to create the pocket, so we can put something in between two acetate layers. And I'm measuring it to be precise. And on the right side I have the closure. So on the right side the acetate is closed, so two pieces are already connected together. And it will make my job easier. I don't need to cut two pieces of acetate of the same size, then glue it together. So it's just easier to use the package that wasn't really cut. It was actually maybe better to use the piece where the pieces are connected on the bottom, so we will don't need to sew it together or anything, but it just I will sew it anyway because we need to close the sides too. Okay, so these are two pieces now. If you may be doing like something without the writing space or anything, you can also use one piece of acetate, like maybe it's a pocket in the journal, so you don't really need to turn it over, yeah, and see the other side. In this case you can just put one piece of acetate and put your currency or whatever behind it, yeah. So in this case we won't need two pieces of acetate, but here I want to put the money inside this acetate pocket, and I can see it through the acetate on the outer side and on the inside. And I'm using my washi tape to kind of adhere it to the surface, so it will be easier for me to work with later on. Because as I have said, I want to sew it to the envelope, and I will use the same thread. If you have a sewing machine, it will make your life much easier, and because it will be much faster, and maybe you will like the look more. but I will just stitch it to the envelope. I will use this simple stitch. Maybe if you have a lot of time and patience, you can do like some fancy stitches like cross stitch or anything, but it will take much more time and yeah, much more work. So here I'm going the easy route. I'm punching the holes first because it's just will be easier to navigate with the needle. You don't need to poke the holes with your needle, and yeah, it's just much faster to prepare the holes beforehand. That's why we need to adhere the acetate with washi tape. And now we will proceed to stitching. I'm starting from the inside, so the knot will be on the inside. And of course I will skip some parts because it's just me stitching. I will show you like the beginning and then I will proceed to the finished look, finished stitching. Also could have used the thread that would be more colorful, so it will bring more attention, but I'm not the best at stitching, and I was really afraid that my stitch will be wonky and not really beautiful, and colorful thread will like draw attention to it, so I kind of avoid using colorful threads in my stitching. Probably need to overcome this already because it's chunk journaling, right? So this is the finished look. Now we have our acetate pocket, and I'm choosing the currency that I want to see on the outside, and I have chosen this blue one, really beautiful and really works well with the colors of the masterboard. But we will see the orange one as well on the inside. Okay. So I'm just adjusting it. So see, I have some space in the pocket, so we can see through the window some other parts of the envelope and so on. So if you make the pocket, the window smaller, you will see only the money. So that depends on what you want to see. Okay, now I'm cutting a piece of washi tape with the ticket to kind of cover the legs of the bread, so it will not damage the window, will not damage the pocket, and will kind of secure it too. And the ticket theme goes well with the traveling, sort of, even though this is a cinema ticket, I believe. Okay, so we are almost there. Now I want to use the inside of the envelope for the writing. I will add some date stamping to remember when this journey happened and which dates. Actually, it was my birthday in between of these two dates, and yeah, that was really wonderful to spend birthday somewhere else that's not home, and that's really a first time for me. Always was a home girl. Okay, so I'm using my date stamp here, and after that I will handwrite everything I want. So I'm writing Sri Lanka, the country that I visited. And on the right side I will journal about my vacation, but here I will write just the small part of it so you can get the idea how I will use this envelope, but I will finish it off camera, guys. Sorry. So yeah, this is basically the finished look. Now I will burnish it a little bit more. And we are actually finished, so it is closed like that. Looks sort of like the holder for money, a wallet. Sorry, I forgot the word for a minute. So it looks like the wallet, but I kind of feel like the name holder suits it better because it's still an envelope with the writing space. And you can see the beautiful currency. We can close it, so we will have a secret journaling spot, if we can call it secret. I will journal off camera, but you get the idea. So that's my project for today. I hope you liked it. Give it a try. Give this travel ephemera masterboard a try. I think we will do some more projects with it, but later. And yeah, I see you in my next video. Please put a thumbs up if you liked it. share this video with your friends, and have a nice day. Bye bye!